You know, we talk about the concept of active and visible sponsorship, and now I'm going to translate that into something called digital change leadership, and that's predicated upon change management in relation to IT, technical digital transformation projects. So what are the roles of a digital change leader at the strategic level? Well, we know from ProSci that at the highest level, a sponsor of a people-dependent change needs to be active and visible, build a coalition of sponsors and communicate. There's a lot to all of that, so let's look at that in the strategic context of becoming a digital change leader. So I'm going to talk about the core skills required, any redefined skills, and also some potentially new skills. In terms of core skills, to become an effective digital change leader, you need to do your ABCs of sponsorship and also take account of Jack Welch's advice that your role is to let everyone in the place know where you're going, why you're going there, most important of all, what's in it for them to go with you. And I suggest your communications should be unicultural, it should be oral and written, it should be face-to-face and or virtual based. You should be motivational and able to realign culture and inspire internally. You should be self-aware as a leader and understand and act on your own emotions. You should be a great team builder both internally and with third parties. You should be visionary both internally and with third parties. You should foster key relationships and you should plan with purpose, structure and with processes in mind. In terms of redefined skills, you should become a change agent, and I think to be an excellent digital change leader, you definitely got to be flexible, adaptable, increase your risk tolerance, continually question the status quo, and you should understand that this or any change is not just a blueprint for new structures, rather it requires changing people's mindsets and practices. It should be changing the culture. You need to make sure that your communications are two-way rather than one-way, that they listen. You got to make sure to identify the audience first, then design your message for that or for those specific audiences. Don't do it the other way around. Use ADKAR for that to define your audiences and make sure that the cultural aspects of the change are incorporated. Listen at 360 degrees, listen all around, both internally and externally, and use the technology that you're implementing if it's relevant for it to communicate. Lead by example, use the technology. Make sure to be motivational in everything that you do, and note that this might require you to relinquish or give up control over some aspects of the change and of your role even. And think about building teams in a way that fosters the new structure of working. Be prepared to adjust the organisational structure in a way that fosters the new culture. Consider crowdsourcing team structures and listen to and consider lessons from the field. Make sure to foster key relationships and build and engage internal and external communities. And then what about new skills or potential new skills? So being an excellent digital change leader, that might be new to you, or it might be an enhancement of some of your skills that you have already. Remember that half of all leaders of change have some to no understanding of their role leading change. However, it's a crucial skill and in the end it's worth the effort. Make sure to develop your emotional intelligence and try and eliminate egotism. Be self-aware and be aware of the needs and desires of others. Put others first. Build teams that thrive within a culture of collaboration and consider distributed accountability, ownership and decision making. Know when to lead and when to follow. Develop others by coaching, mentoring and teaching and leading by example, and be a continuous learner yourself. Build an extended and high-performing culture and use the technology. And finally, be flexible, adapt and apply your skills situationally. Be open to innovative ideas from multiple sources. So some of the strategic points to become a digital change leader, or to develop your skills as a digital change leader. I'll then look at some of the tactical skills. There's a lot of detail there. But ultimately, if you're a sponsor of change, if you're going to lead change, it's your job to make sure that the money you've spent on your digital program yields a return of investment. And if that return of investment is dependent on people changing how they work, that means you've got to drive speed of adoption, ultimate utilisation and proficiency and use of the new technology. And your role is the most crucial of all in that.